Hey everybody, Derek here, and I want to thank you all for attending today. It's great to have so many people joining us for the LuckyVitamin Wellness webinar about cleansing and detoxing presented by our friends at Enzymedica. Thank you all very much. Today we are joined by none other than Dr. Michael Murray. Dr. Murray is one of the world's leading authorities on natural medicine. He has published over 30 books featuring natural approaches to health. He is a graduate, former faculty member, and serves on the board of regents of Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington. Dr. Murray is the Chief Science Officer of Enzymedica. So before we begin the webinar, just a few quick reminders. This webinar is being recorded and will be emailed to you after its conclusion. If you have any questions during today's webinar, please enter them into the question box on your screen. Also, please stay tuned for a special offer from LuckyVitamin on Enzymedica products at the end of the webinar. I'll turn this over now. Dr. Murray.
Well, thank you. Let me start off by ending. I really believe and detoxification are a primary route to better health, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. The title of my talk is really Purify Your Life, and this represents a new line of products from Enzymedica. But we're going to be talking about general aspects of cleansing and why to cleanse to start with. Let's see. I don't the screen confirmation.
We do not.
Okay. It was being hid.
There we go.
You got it?
Yep.
Never, because load of environment. These toxins represent the greatest. I know that we focus a lot on the role of diet, and diet is critical. Too much sugar, eating the wrong types of fat, not getting a not only talking about exogenous toxins that are produced outside the body, but also toxins that we naturally produce, gut-derived toxins, metabolic end products, and poorly detoxified hormones, for example. These are all contributors to poor health. But what I'm really going to focus on today are exogenous toxins, primarily what are called persistent organic pollutants. This includes such things as pesticides, herbicides, flame retardants, solvents, plastics, phthalates, parabens, and these compounds are pervasive in our food supply and our personal care products, everywhere. So the focus today will be on these toxic compounds. So what makes these compounds so toxic is that they disrupt our normal physiology, our processes within a cell, and what I'm showing you here is what represents a schematic of all the different chemical processes that occur in a typical cell. And
Hey, Dr. Murray.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you see if you can make your screen full screen? We're not seeing it in the full screen mode right now.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it's not letting me. I'm going to close that. I'm going to start over with that. Okay. How's that? Good. All right. So we can't really look inside each cell and answer the question, where are these toxins affecting these particular enzymatic processes? But we can get a sense of how toxins are affecting someone's health. We can look at some common symptoms. These are some things that I look for to evaluate whether or not someone is in real need of detoxification or a cleanse.
Hey, Dr. Murray, sorry to interrupt again. We're actually not seeing anything right now. Maybe it's behind a window.
There we go. How's that?
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. All right. So these are some things that I look at. Do you have low energy levels? Do you have difficulty thinking with clarity? Do you often feel blue or depressed? Do you get more than 1 or 2 colds a week? Do you have digestive disturbances? Are you constantly hungry? Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you have dark circles under your eyes? If you're a woman, do you have PMS, fibrocystic breast disease, or uterine fibroids? Do you crave sweets? Do you suffer from allergies? Do you have sore, achy muscles, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, multiple chemical sensitivity disorder? All of these indicate that you are in need of support for your detoxification system. I mentioned this term persistent organic pollutants earlier. This refers to compounds that are very difficult for the body to get rid of. So in this case, organic is not something beneficial. Organic simply refers to the fact that these molecules contain carbon. These persistent organic pollutants include, again, pesticides, herbicides, solvents, plastic. These compounds are everywhere, and it's getting worse and worse every day. We know that these compounds are extremely toxic to humans. They disrupt our hormonal system. They damage our cellular components, including our mitochondria, which generate energy. They produce inflammation. They are really problematic in just about every chronic degenerative disease, and they're particularly harmful for fetuses. The compounds can be transferred from mother to fetus, and we know that they're linked to many different health conditions. Let me give you some examples of what we know right now, how these compounds are adversely affecting health. If we look at diabetes, you can actually make a stronger case that type 2 diabetes is more related to an increased body load of persistent organic pollutants than you can for a diet high in sugar. One of the famous studies that was conducted recently looking at persistent organic pollutants and diabetes risk, they took really fat people, really obese people, and they measured their body burden of these persistent organic pollutants, and they tracked them to see who got diabetes. And what they found was that the group that had the highest exposure to persistent organic pollutants had a 38 times greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes than the lowest level of POPs found in these obese individuals. These compounds have also been shown to be closely linked to high blood pressure, obesity, arthritis. They're implicated in Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, autism. So we know that these compounds are really bad for us. And we know that their effects are greater than an additive effect. What I mean by that is that they work together to magnify the toxicity of each other. So we know this based upon some work that's been done looking at how these pesticides and heavy metals work in promoting Parkinson's disease. And we see that their effects are not additive, where 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's more like 1 plus 1 equals 5. So the more diverse your exposure is to these toxins, the worse they are for you. So how do we get rid of them? Well, we have a detoxification system. We kind of focus on the liver, but the detoxification system involves other tissues as well. We have high levels of detoxification enzymes in our intestines, in our lung, in our respiratory tract, our kidneys, reproductive system. And what researchers show is that there's 1,000-fold variation in detoxification ability from one person to another. So some people are very effective at getting rid of toxins, others not so much. Everyone can benefit from a cleanse and detoxification, but some people, they really need this support. They really need to make enhancing their detoxification a primary goal if they want to achieve health. Now, it's really interesting the way the body gets rid of toxic compounds. The first step is called a phase 1 reaction. And what happens is that the toxin actually is converted to a more toxic substance called an activated intermediate. So what's potentially harmful is if you have a buildup of these activated intermediates, because they can be anywhere from 100 to 1,000 times more toxic than the original toxin. Our phase 2 reaction involves binding that activated intermediate to what's called a conjugating agent, something that can bind to that compound, neutralize it, and allow the body to get rid of it. This includes amino acids, it includes glutathione, it includes sulfur. So we need these substances readily available to neutralize that activated intermediate. In regards to getting rid of these persistent organic pollutants, glutathione is particularly important. Glutathione is a very small peptide. It's a 3 amino acid chain. It's in the body as the health of related to the level as a result that make that cell damage. Glutathione stores are influenced by diet, but they're really adversely influenced by many harmful compounds from our environment, and also things that we don't even think of, like Tylenol or acetaminophen. It's very detrimental to glutathione levels, and that's why people from taking acetaminophen, reducing the too low in the liver. Alcohol. Liver's ability is really key. Toxin. You have enough bacteria or toxins. So requires get rid of these process. Just to what degree? I've given you some guidelines to what to look for to see how your detoxification is performing. If you have low energy, mental fogginess, if you get frequent colds or infections, if you suffer from PMS, fibrocystic breast disease, fibromyalgia, you may not be effectively detoxifying. And so you really need to take a real good look at how you can improve your ability to get rid of these harmful compounds. When we look at what's available in health food stores or online, it's quite a hodgepodge. There's just a mixture of products out there, and I've looked at all these products, and some of them are safe and okay, but I think some of them are quite potentially harmful because they're not really allowing the body to get rid of toxins. It's kind of just stirring things up. I also think some of the typical cleansing recommendations like a juice fast or a water fast could be equally damaging. That's because the toxins that we're most concerned about these days are fat-soluble toxins. And when we go on a water fast or an unsupported juice fast, what happens is that we're releasing all these stored toxins, and our liver and other tissues may not be able to keep up with that increased demand. So these toxins just kind of float around and they get deposited into other tissues, including our brain. A lot of times people will go through a cleanse or a fast and they'll experience what some people call a cleansing reaction or a healing crisis. They'll have headache, they'll have mental fogginess, fatigue, joint pain, flu-like symptoms, and they're told that that's a good thing. I don't think that's the case. I think that's not what's happening. I think what's happening is they're just overloading their system with these toxins, and they're suffering from the side effects because of that. So what I recommend, I developed a program, a 10-day program for Enzymedica called Purify. This program simply involves following some dietary recommendations and taking 2 packets, an AM packet and a PM packet. Very simple, very easy to follow. The AM packet contains an enzyme blend, a liver detox formula, an organic detoxifying blend, and a formula to promote regularity. PM packet, enzyme blend, probiotic blend, mixed ascorbates, and the regularity product again. Before we get into talking about each of these individual components of the packet, I want to give some general guidelines. And these guidelines apply to any sort of cleansing program that you would go on. Drink plenty of clean water. Don't kind of muddy the water by drinking soft drinks and sports drinks. If you want other things, drink herbal teas, drink fresh vegetable juice. In fact, I think it's a good idea to add 8 to 12 ounces of fresh vegetable juice per day. If you could add some lemons to the fresh juice, that's great. They contain incredible compounds that promote detoxification. If you elect to do a juice fast, and I do recommend it as part of this program, make it for only 3 days out of the 10. I don't think you need to go any longer than that. I've given you some simple foods to focus on: beets, celery, and carrots, cabbage family vegetables, the green foods, lots of green leafy salads, wheatgrass juice. You can use some of the dehydrated green foods, dehydrated barley grass and spirulina, for example. And I have some dietary do's and don'ts. The do's are things that we all know we should do more of. The don'ts are the things that we know we need to stay away from. My goal with the 10-day cleanse is to kind of jumpstart a person's detoxification system. But we want that process to be an ongoing occurrence. We want to make sure that our detoxification system is functioning as well as it can. And this practical eating guide will help people continue to move in that positive direction. The compounds that are highlighted on the right in the red, these are things that kind of stall our ability to detoxify and or are significant contributors of toxins themselves. So eat more plant foods, eat a high fiber diet, make sure you're eating clean protein sources and you're eating the right types of oils, nuts and seeds, and good oils like olive, avocado, coconut, and flax. Simple recommendations, but those go a long way in activating and supporting your detoxification system. Now, back to the Purify program. The Purify program, again, contains uh, 4 capsules in the morning, 4 capsules in the evening in the self-contained packets. The individual components of that, first of all, the Purify enzyme blend is in both the AM and PM formula. The reason is that enzymes are critical for digestion. I'm talking about digestive enzymes. These are molecules that break down our food into smaller components, and that allows us to absorb and utilize those nutrients. Enzymes are also critical for the health of the microbiome. That refers to the gut bacteria, the gut flora. So if we're not breaking down our food, we're feeding the wrong type of bacteria, because the wrong type of bacteria will get to those large food particles and start digesting them. So enzymes are critical for priming the pump for digestion and a healthy microbiome. We utilize the TheraBlend process at Enzymedica. This is a proprietary process where variants of these various types of enzymes are blended together so that the enzymes can be effective throughout a broad range of pH. Independent analysis has shown that these enzymes from Enzymedica work 3 times stronger and 6 times faster than other leading digestive enzyme supplements. So it really is an advanced way to support your digestive tract. Probiotics are important, but probiotics do not digest food. Probiotics are important to support the overall digestive health. They, too, are important in promoting detoxification, and that's why we include a 10 billion CFU count of health-promoting probiotics, 8 different strains. Digestive enzymes, I think, are poised to be as big as probiotics are these days. Probiotics have kind of exploded onto the marketplace in some respects. They've been around for years, just like enzymes, but it seems like science has finally caught up with the importance of probiotics, and it's just starting to catch up with the importance of digestive enzymes. We have over 100 million Americans suffering from digestive concerns, the chief ones being gas, bloating, and indigestion. Well, often those a lack of will have food intolerance in wheat or those reflect of enzymes. Enzymes are really more respect and recognition. They're very important for detoxification. We have them in both the AM and PM formula. The organic detoxifying blend, it's really designed to help balance phase 1 and phase 2 reactions. I talked about enzyme systems that you can intermediate causes so much harm. With MSM is vitamin C, which is an important, also designed form of sulfur. MSM as a source of sulfur compounds in neutralizing. We also have a formula called Liver Detox, and this form to support the liver. through the liver detox formula. One of the chief components in restoring that balance is a special milk thistle extract called Silifos. In this form, a milk thistle extract, which has been shown to support healthy liver function, has been shown to protect and improve the function of those liver cells, and will actually stimulate the new liver cells to replace damaged old ones. So very important benefits are achieved with milk thistle extract. In the Purify Liver Detox, we're providing the unique phytosome form of the milk thistle extract. This form binds phosphatidylcholine or lecithin to a specific flavonoid plant pigment that's in milk thistle, and that allows this compound to be better absorbed, better utilized, and produce better results. The formula also contains N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine is utilized by the liver and other cells as a kind of a building block for glutathione, and it can boost glutathione levels, and it can also bind directly to toxins and help eliminate them. The formula also contains a special selenium extract called Seleno Excel. This extract of selenium allows for better absorption, better utilization, and better results. Selenium is a key enzyme in glutathione peroxidase. This is a key enzyme that protects our cells from damage. So very important to have sufficient selenium in your daily diet. Additional complementary ingredients are also provided in the liver detox formula. It is available in the 10-day cleanse. It's also available on its own. We also have a regularity product that's available on its own. This formula does not contain any harsh stimulant laxatives. The heavy lifting is produced by the prune extract. We do have senna leaves in there, but only at 100 milligrams. Typical dose of senna for a laxative effect is 1,500 milligrams. So we're just putting a little bit in there to get things gently started. But the heavy lifting is done with the prune extract. And everyone knows about the benefits of prune in promoting regularity, but not everybody is going to want to eat a prune, and this is a very convenient way to get those benefits. We also provide support for this formula in the form of carminatives. Carminatives are herbs that have a kind of a relaxing effect on intestinal spasms and can help expel excess gas. So this formula contains chamomile, fennel, ginger, and peppermint. We have another product in the line on its own. This is a charcoal product. Activated charcoal is highly effective at binding gas. Can also bind other toxins as well. We combine coconut charcoal. The charcoal is produced from the coconut shells. We combine that with an enzyme called alpha-galactosidase, which is important in breaking down some carbohydrates that are really gas promoting. So this formula is really designed to assist with gas. And again, we're providing a carminative, in this case a ginger extract, and this provides a more soothing benefit, and ginger has some benefits of its own. So, and the last product I'll mention before we get to the question and answer period is the Purify Fiber Drink Mix. This is a mixture of 4 fibers: tapioca, coconut, cacao, and a special hydrolyzed form of guar gum. This is the best tasting fiber supplement on the market. There's nothing that even compares to this taste. It's truly fantastic. A lot of people are just falling in love with it. It's a pomegranate lemonade flavor, all naturally sourced flavoring agents and fresh juices. It really is a far cry different from what you typically see in a fiber supplement, being gritty and foul tasting. This tastes fantastic. It provides 3 grams of soluble fiber per dose. I think it's a good addition to the 10-day cleanse. The 10-day cleanse comes with complete instructions. It has information on all the ingredients, and it has the detailed information on the dietary do's and don'ts. And it also comes with a $3 off coupon that you can use for any of the individual products. I recommend getting that Purify fiber drink mix and having at least one serving a day while you're going through that 10-day cleanse. So, Derek, that concludes my formal part of the presentation. I look forward to answering any questions that people may have.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to jump right into the Q&A section. We've got a few questions that came over while the webinar was going on. And first one is, how does alcohol consumption affect my body's toxicity?
Yeah, alcohol is a cellular toxin, and it's controversial whether or not moderate alcohol consumption is a healthful thing. You know, people kind of justify drinking alcohol because some studies have shown that moderate red wine consumption, for example, has some health benefits, but I'm not so sure. One of the problems that happens with alcohol is, I was talking about that activated intermediate, and alcohol is converted to acetaldehyde via phase 1 enzymes. This compound is about 1,000 times more toxic than alcohol. People that are susceptible to liver cirrhosis, people that are susceptible to alcoholism, they typically have very fast phase 1 conversion of alcohol to acetaldehyde and a very slow conversion of acetaldehyde to acetic acid and water. So if someone's going to drink, they really have to make sure their liver is working effectively. Some sort of liver support formula would be very important, even if they're consuming moderate amounts of alcohol, in my opinion, because you never know if you're one of those people that has a fast phase 1 for alcohol and a slow phase 2. Certain ethnic groups and racial groups have this imbalance. Native Americans, for example, and many Asians, they have a very overactive phase 1 enzyme and very underactive, and in some cases totally absent phase 2 enzyme. And so what happens is they're more susceptible to the damage that can be caused by alcohol, and it's probably a good idea for those racial groups to stay away from any consumption of alcohol.
Okay, thank you. We have one, if detoxing is safe for children.
Actually, if a child is a little over, recommending a consume take or so we can break down compounds. About kids is they body weight, but they can certainly support their body's detoxification system through proper supplementation and diet.
Okay, great, thank you. Someone is also asking what sort of cleansing, if any, is safe during pregnancy?
Yeah, that's another indication. We don't want those toxins, those stored toxins, being mobilized. I think with pregnancy, I would just focus on supreme nutrition, trying to really focus on eating the best that a woman can to support herself as well as the baby. And I wouldn't recommend a cleanse. either during pregnancy or lactation. I just think that we can support detoxification, but we don't want to see those toxins mobilized.
Okay, great, thank you. Someone is asking for a little bit more information about what you were saying in regards to juice cleansing as far as the adverse effects.
Yeah, so I don't think a juice cleanse is enough to give people the support that they need for proper detoxification. I think I'm a proponent of juice fast if they're supported. And how do you support someone through a juice fast? You make sure they're taking supplements that support detoxification. And so that's kind of what I've done here with the 10-day complete body cleanse. If someone is going to go on a juice fast, I would recommend that they take these supplements to support their body's detoxification process. And I'd also recommend using that Purify fiber drink mix, because we want those toxins to be bound. The problem with a water fast or a juice fast is that we're reducing our caloric intake, so the fat cells start releasing all these stored toxins, and we need food, we need special nutrients to assist the proper detoxification. That's the reason behind some of the dietary recommendations, the food recommendations. We have menu suggestions as well. We need food. We need these compounds to really support detoxification. Juice fasting and cleansing was through water fast was probably fantastic 100 years ago and more, because most of the toxins that people were dealing with were water-soluble toxins. But now these man-made chemicals, these are very difficult for our body to get rid of, and I just think we have to be concerned, because what happens when we break down those fat cells and release those fat-soluble compounds, they're floating around in the blood, and they're like a magnet for fat. So the greatest concentration of fat in our body should be our brains. So what happens is that these toxins are released, and they kind of make a beeline for the brain, and we don't want that, because that's gonna adversely affect our brain health. So I just think that we have to be a little more careful these days in how we go about a cleanse. I've mentioned several times about when we're on a diet where there's a caloric deficit, we're releasing these stored toxins. So detoxification and making sure you're getting the right support is critical in any weight loss program. So lots of green leafy vegetables, high fiber foods, plant foods is what I'm referring to, and utilizing fiber supplements, I think, are really important for people going through a weight loss program. I also think they can benefit by utilizing the liver detox formula.
All right, thank you so much. And Dr. Murray, thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this webinar with us. I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you all for attending, and another big thank you to Dr. Murray for all the great information here. This webinar will be emailed to all registrants very soon, and you can also find it by visiting LuckyVitamin.com and search keyword webinar. Check out all of the other cool webinars that are there too. Please see your screen for a special offer, and have a great day.